Yo guys, what's going on? Ace is here today with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Black Ops 6 being completely dead not even 3 months after the release of it. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this video here today, and of course make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty content. If there's even any I can make anymore, that is going to get over 100 views. Call of Duty has pretty much officially died at this point, and I have some data to back that up. So we are taking a look at the Steam charts, and this encapsulates everything that can be played on the Call of Duty app. This counts for Black Ops 6, this counts for the new iteration of Warzone, this counts for like the last 2 Call of Duties that are under the Call of Duty HQ. All of those CODs, they are played through the Call of Duty app. So all those players still playing those old games, they're being counted right now. That's not a good thing. That doesn't help Call of Duty's case at all. That just shows how dead either the old CODs are, which they usually are, but typically there is a pretty loyal fan base. But, it just shows how dead the game is and really the player fall off. So let's first take a look at this chart right here. All right. The peak was like a week after Black Ops 6 came out. And I'm not going to lie, for good reason. On paper, Black Ops 6 is a great game. I have to give Treyarch credit. It is really fun and enjoyable. It is just genuinely unplayable, which is a shame. I don't know what Activision's problem was this year, but this was the worst year for Call of Duty ever, for a title that it should have been great for. So we have the release of Black Ops 6 right here, and that weekend on Sunday was 306,000 players. Not too bad for Steam. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I am going to multiply this number by 10 for console players. Call of Duty is primarily a console player's game. I would not be surprised if we saw 3 to 6 million players across console and 300,000 on Steam. But I am going to be very clear. Right now, I do not think there's 590,000 people on Call of Duty, even though that is the amount that is on Steam right now. I do not think that's the case whatsoever. We'll talk about that shortly. The week after release, the game got a ton of hype. Everybody's playing it. Everybody's grinding camos. Everybody's having a good time. 315,000. Strong week 2. I got to be honest, or strong first week, I should say. I got to be honest, it looked good right here. This was on Sunday. This was at the peak. No, anything special. You have, I think, Nuketown releasing right around this point. It was a very solid marketing tactic by them. And then it fell apart. Genuinely, it fell apart. Very, very, very quickly. From the beginning of November, we had 315,000. At the end of November, it was under 200,000 players. That's insane. We have a free week, and I want to show this free week specifically. Right here, they started a free week on Call of Duty. The previous week was 158,000 players. The free week didn't even get them to their old number the week before. And since the free week, they have not had a player uptick. There has not been a single player uptick since. It has been all returning players, and it's been hovering around 100,000. That is it. There is no hype for Warzone. There is really nothing going on except for the biggest crossover event they have ever done. The Squid Game crossover event is happening right now. Look at the player counts for the Squid Game event. I mean, there's little to no interest. I mean, you have a small uptick on Sunday. Like, small. Where's last Sunday? You can't even see it. Let's see if I can see that last Sunday. Right here, 118. I mean, you're still bleeding. You still lost 7K. So, guys, this is not good. And I want to show you something here on the monthly players breakdown. Here's where Black Ops 6 came out. Black Ops 6 release, it literally says. And here's November. That small increase of like 8,000 players where we saw it go to like 315. Then you have all those players leaving in December. And then the last 30 days, another 11,000. I want you to take a very close look at these numbers. So we have 145,123 minus, all right? And I'm going to add this number to it. So that's going to be plus 11,705 players. So they have lost 156,828 players. So I'm actually going to write this down for you. 156,828. All right. So let's take a look here. What were the players they gained for the Black Ops 6 release? Well, we have 148,742, and then we had another small increase, so we're going to add that, another 8,874. That number for the players that have increased, well, you know, the players that started playing Black Ops 6, was 157,616. So let's take the players gained and then subtract the players lost. So we have 157,616, and then we're going to subtract 156,828. That leaves us with 788 players gained on a new Call of Duty release less than 3 months after release. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a dead game. Okay? That is not good. I don't care if this is 60,000 new players that are playing the game and there's 60,000 other players that have left. That does not matter. The numbers are the same. This Call of Duty was a logistical flop. A financial gain, maybe, but logistically, statistically, this is a flop of a game. And here's the thing. The omnidirectional movement wasn't the reason the game flopped. The gunplay wasn't the reason the game flopped. The maps, for once, wasn't the reason the game flopped. I can't believe I'm saying that. And the maps weren't even good. You want to know the reason the game flopped? It's because Activision decided to do absolutely nothing about the rampant cheating that is affecting the game. For players who like a more competitive experience, they can't play ranked play. Ranked play is impossible to play due to cheating. So, maybe you go to Warzone. Well, Warzone's the same way. Warzone is absolutely awful when it comes to trying to play it. The occasional game will have a cheater, but that's not the main problem. The game is extremely clunky. The Black Ops 6 integration was awful. The weapons were awful. The entire experience was awful. When it comes to the Black Ops 6 campaign, I can't really say anything on it. This is the first Call of Duty campaign ever that I did not play on release. Activision decided that this year they were not going to allow players to play the campaign 7 days early. What happened? Well, players were upset. And guess what? Players didn't play the campaign, myself included. I still haven't gotten around to it. I'm going to do it. I'll play it eventually. But a lot of us didn't even get a chance to play it. We would have if we would have got access 7 days early, but we didn't. And you know what? A lot of us didn't play it. It hurts your player count. If you let us play the campaign a week early, it would have propped up your sales numbers a little bit. It would have helped you out a little bit more from that transition from October to November to December. You got killed. And honestly, I can't blame you. I understand it. You want people to play the multiplayer and then play the campaign later to help those numbers later. But when the game dies this rapidly, the few thousand of us that are going to come back to play the campaign, that's not going to help your numbers. It's too little, too late. And the final one of them all, the multiplayer. You know, I have to be completely honest with you guys. The multiplayer itself, as a core multiplayer, when it comes to no algorithms impacting your gaming experience, let's say there is no lag, let's say there's no server latency, let's say there's no hit reg issues, there's no skill-based matchmaking, there's no engagement optimized matchmaking, there's no skill-based damage. I could keep going if we want, but let's say that it's just normal Call of Duty. The game itself is amazing. It's a great Call of Duty. But with all of these algorithms being jammed down our throat and impacting our gaming experience, and to continuously be gaslit and lied to about the fact they exist, on top of the constant microtransactions, the game cost $70. The better edition of the game cost $100. The black cell costs $30. There are premium battle passes now that cost you an additional $10. There are $20 to $30 bundles in the Call of Duty store that some of them, the finishing moves don't work. That some of them, the iron sights on some of the weapons block your entire sightline. I don't really understand how we keep coming back to this game. Myself, the only reason I play Call of Duty anymore is for money. You know, I have a Call of Duty YouTube channel that makes money. The game is free for me every single year based off of income from this YouTube channel. I do not play Call of Duty for enjoyment. I play it for a little bit of side revenue. That is simply it. That is the brutally honest truth. Call of Duty is the worst gaming experience you could possibly put yourself through. I would rather play Apex Legends. And that's saying a lot. Apex is at least fun. It has a decent skill gap. Yes, it still has hidden MMR, but it's still better than Call of Duty. The skill-based matchmaking is by far the number one reason players have left this year. They have tuned it. They have tuned it, whatever word you want to use. They have cranked it to the max. This is the most cracked out skill-based matchmaking they have ever had to date. And then and this is the last thing we'll say for this video. They then decided to take away two boxing. They took away two boxing. So now content creators won't be making high kill gameplays. They won't be promoting the game. They won't be streaming the game. That, in my opinion, was the nail in the coffin. They completely took away all of their promotion, in my opinion. If we look at the 1 month chart, I think two boxing probably got nerfed in here. Somewhere in here. I don't know exactly when, but it was somewhere around here. Look at this fall off. This is a 40,000 player fall off after that. They successfully killed off the remainder of their player base. Like, it's insane. Call of Duty is dead, and I think it's, like, officially dead this time. Like, I don't know what title they would have to release next year to really have a chance at even coming close to remotely winning back the trust of the consumer. This was a Black Ops Treyarch title, and it failed. When is the last time a Black Ops title failed? I wouldn't even say Cold War failed. I hated Cold War, but at the same time, I played a ton of it, and, you know, I can see why people like it. It wasn't awful, but this game was amazing, and it flopped. It's not looking good. I think, you know, if I had to make the call, make the decision here, I think Activision loses just all control of Call of Duty. And I will say, we saw what happened with X Defiant. It just didn't survive. But that's due to internal things with them. The release date fumbled. You know, they did so many things wrong over there. It's not really the core game itself that failed. It was the marketing and the management. You know, it's just like, you have games that do really well. Okay, you have games that are very popular, that are popping. All right, so we have the top 23 games on screen sorted by the highest 24-hour peak. The reason I did that is because it's currently 1:30 a.m. and I wanted to be fair to all the games on this list and show their 24-hour peaks. You know, Counter-Strike's Counter-Strike, PUBG is PUBG. Those are massive worldwide games. Same with Dota. Marvel Rivals, absolutely popping off. PoE 2, popping off. You know, you have Blade Point, you have Rust, you have GTA, Power World, all games that are, you know, relatively popular for their own reasons, not really in the same category as, you know, COD. We don't count Wallpaper Engine, but here is the really, like, nail in the coffin one for me. Right now, Apex Legends is going through very similar things that Call of Duty is, with their player base pretty much leaving. And the fact that Apex is overperforming when it comes to Call of Duty is absolutely mind-boggling to me. That Apex is doing better than Call of Duty. And here's the thing. Call of Duty has so many more options. Multiple games, multiple campaigns, multiple third modes, zombies, DMZ, whatever. You have all of Warzone. And Apex has like 4 or 5 things. And of course, you could say, well, Apex Legends is free to play, Call of Duty's not. Yeah, that is completely true, and I just don't care. I don't care. We took a look at the numbers. It is a shit show over there. So, yeah, man, I wanted to talk about this. I have zero interest and zero desire to make any Call of Duty content other than skill-based matchmaking content because that's the only thing that gets views. I do think this one has a chance to maybe get over 1,000 views, but it's also the type of video because there's not a single bit of Call of Duty in the background at all. This is the type of video that could genuinely get like 20 views on my channel, and for the size of my channel, that's unacceptable. And that is the state of Call of Duty. The fact that I am speaking all factual things, the death of Call of Duty's low player counts and the skill-based matchmaking and the reasons and everybody being upset with Call of Duty. If this video doesn't get views, I think that's even more concerning than the game actually being dead itself. That means everything about Call of Duty is dead. Content, the game itself, if one dies, the other one dies pretty quick, and I kind of feel like that's where we're already at. I think the only guy worth watching for Call of Duty now is Blame Truth. That's it. There's nobody else who's clowning Call of Duty. Maybe Neuro if you want to watch him as well, but like I don't watch Call of Duty streamers anymore. I don't play Call of Duty anymore. It's a waste, and it's really sad. That's where we're at, but that's where we're at. So do me a favor, guys, leave a like. I would love for things to turn around with COD, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. See you in the next one. I'm out.